we had the former vice presidential candidate, Senator Kaine, saying this is now perjury and treason, for crying out loud. So that's why I ask you, is Donald Trump...
Steve, no, look, I agree that violations of the criminal law haven't been proved, and there isn't any evidence of them that I see at this point. Now, what I would be troubled by, and actually, if I was in the Trump camp, I'd probably be skipping and dancing if I thought that my opposition was wringing its hands trying to figure out how to turn this into a campaign finance violation or a perjury violation. To me, that trivializes what happened here. So, yes, look, throughout the whole time that we've talked about collusion, my question has always been collusion in what? Because, you know, to the extent that we've had issues like, should there be a special counsel, which requires the commission of a crime before that's proper? Or should the attorney general recuse himself, which also requires a criminal investigation, which is supposed to be the predicate for whether you're disqualified or not? I think it's all those matters. It's very relevant whether a crime was committed, and I haven't seen one up until this point. I don't think anything we saw in those Trump emails makes out a crime. But to me, you know, as an American assessing executive power and the potential abuse of it and the fitness of the incumbent, whether a crime has been committed is a secondary issue.
Right. Whether a crime has been committed by the President of the United States, because when
or one of his subordinates.
Or what?
Or one of his subordinates. Look, the theory of our government, Steve,
it's high crimes and misdemeanors that matters.
It's not just that. It's that all executive power is vested in one official, the president.
Right. Which
means that if the president's, the framers' idea was that if subordinates of the president committed misconduct, that misconduct was attributable to the president, which is why presidents fire people who abuse their authority. They do that because if they don't fire them, it's as if they're endorsing it. So I don't draw the hard line that some people are drawing between the president and his son. I simply don't.
Okay, but if this all happened with Donald Trump Jr. and you see no criminality, but there's more to it than that, as you pointed out, or could be, but he wasn't president at the time. Does that make it put in a different category? He was just a candidate at the time.
Well, to go back to the criminal law, we have a concept known as straddle offenses. You know, these are offenses that like occur before and after certain events or statutes of limitations and the like. And, you know, I think that the thing with Russia is a continuing course of behavior, and I'd be looking at it that way if I were investigating it. So I'm not open to the idea, at least now, that the one email exchange we've seen is an open and shut matter that ought to be looked at in isolation on June 9th, 2016, and that it doesn't have any forward-looking or backward-looking importance. I just don't see it that way.
Okay, so you're saying, again, to close the book here, so to speak, on Donald Trump Jr., you're saying that the you don't see any criminality, any violation of the criminal code here. You don't see any evidence of it, but it doesn't mean it's over. Not yet is what you're adding.
Right, and I don't care about Donald Trump Jr. And I know people are going to try to get me to care about him. It ain't going to work.